I love macOS, but what I don't love is Apple's decision to leave my 2010 MacBook Pro stranded on High Sierra. So today, I'm going to juice up this old boy with new RAM, an SSD, and a battery, and use OpenCore Legacy Patcher to install macOS Monterey. Let's go. Make sure you let your battery drain under 20% before you try this. Okay, RAM time. Now we have to flip the MacBook over and unscrew 10 screws. All right, make sure you guys don't mix up the screws. I use the bowl to hold them. Remove the back panel. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to remove the battery before we do anything else. Now let's locate the RAM modules. Here they are. They're stacked like a tiny sandwich. So we have to gently pull the side tabs. The top stick should pop out. Boop. Slide this one out and repeat for the second stick. Boop. Done. Now to install the new RAM, just do the reverse of how you took the old RAM out and done. RAM upgraded. Hard drive time. So unscrew the bracket holding the drive in place. You have to take off the SATA cable and slide out the old drive. Not too bad. Again, just do the reverse. Connect the cable, put the SSD in place, and screw it back in. That's it. Storage upgraded. Finally, replacing the battery, which has kind of been the source of my anxiety for this entire project. I've seen a bunch of stories on Reddit about people's batteries combusting randomly. So let's make sure that doesn't happen. We have to unscrew the screws and pop out the old one very carefully. New battery in. And we're done with the hard part. The parts of this cost me about $100, so not too bad. You could find them all at ifixit.com or Amazon probably. I'm gonna boot it up and hold on. Slight oversight. We need to reinstall macOS because there's currently nothing on the drive. Let's Google how to install macOS on fresh SSD. So to install macOS on a fresh SSD, boot your Mac into recovery mode. Until Mac, press and hold Command R immediately after turning on your Mac. Let's try that. Okay, that worked. Nice. Now to reinstall macOS. The recovery server could not be contacted. What does that even mean? Back to Google. The recovery server could not be contacted. macOS. After a bit of hopeless searching, I found this super helpful video by Mr. Macintosh. I'll leave it in the description if you want a full video, since he explains it better than I ever could. Let him know Donnie Bon Don sent you in the comments. TLDR is change your URLs for server talk to PC to download macOS. Good. Awesome. Everything looks good. Battery charging, RAM recognized, and SSD in place. And I can already tell the difference too. Now it's OpenCore time. So what is OpenCore Legacy Patch? You know what? I'm just going to say OCLP. What is OCLP? It's a tool that helps older Macs run software that Apple no longer supports. Think of it as like a translator that helps your Mac speak the language of newer operating systems. Cool, right? If you want to give it a shot yourself, make sure you read the FAQs before starting. There's a lot of info in there that you need to know about your specific Mac. But with that aside, let's go ahead and grab the OCLP Patcher app. Okay, it's a GitHub link. Then I have to scroll down to assets and hello? Okay, so I guess Safari is so outdated that I couldn't download from that link for some reason. Okay, workaround. I just sent the app from my PC to my Mac over the network. Now let's install OCLP. Done. Now to create macOS installer. Oh wow, it has Sequoia here. I don't even think my computer could run this. So back on track. Let's install Monterey. That literally took an hour. Like what? Anyway, now we can build and install OpenCore. Select your USB drive. Didn't forget it this time. Boop. Done. Okay, time to boot. Now we finally get to boot OpenCore. So to do that, we reboot while holding the option key to select the EFI boot option. There it is. Select macOS Monterey. Cool. And we should be directed to install macOS like a typical install. Hold on. This is important, so let's read it. If you're using a brand new disk that has not been used before, choose View, Show All Devices, and Disk Utility. Format the entire disk by choosing the topmost option in the sidebar to avoid a missing internal EFI later when trying to boot OpenCore to an internal disk. That sounds like our situation, so boop, boop, and boop. Done. Let that load, and it's here. Monterey. I will say, I'll miss the retro Mac icons, but I do quite enjoy the rebrand. Very clean. Job's not done though. We need to do a few things before we can boot without the USB we made. It's pretty easy though. We just need to build OpenCore again, but this time install OpenCore to our internal drive, which is our new SSD, instead of the USB. So boop. Now reboot holding option again, but this time select internal EFI. And that's it. Our 2010 MacBook Pro is officially running macOS Monterey. Was it worth it? Absolutely. For about $100 and a few hours of work, I made a basically unusable MacBook into one that's perfectly capable as a basic daily driver. If you've got an old Mac collecting dust, give it a shot. Why not? You may even be able to find someone selling their old Mac and revive it for cheaper than you'd pay for a new Mac. Even if you're not a tech expert, the process is pretty doable. But anyway, if this video inspired you to revive your old Mac, MacBook? Let me know in the comments. If this guide helped you realize that you can do it too, drop a like. And if you want to see what else I get myself into, subscribe for more.
Technology is the light that will cut through the darkness.